Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Housewives mess. Will Sidora survive the Grenada trip and her RHOA feuds? Sunday's Real Housewives of Atlanta episode was supposed to mark a fresh start. Instead, it served as a harsh wake-up call to Sidora, who may be on shaky ground with nearly every woman in the group. The Grenada getaway was framed as a chance to give back to a hurricane-ravaged island while also restoring peace within the crew. Led by Kelly Farrell and Shemay Morton, the trip's tone quickly changed. Before takeoff, Porsha Williams and Drew tried mending fences, but their convo got rocky when Porsha confronted Drew about rumors linking her to ex-fiancé Dennis McKinley. Porsha even brought up a man named Black, allegedly a friend of Dennis, that Drew is reportedly dating. Drew fired back, "Well, aren't you dating Future and not talking about it?" Porsha shot down the claim, chalking it up to gossip. However, this rumor was first started by her estranged husband, Simon Guobadia. Angela Oakley and Phaedra Parks finally met when the group arrived at the airport, and while Angela was cordial, Phaedra wasted no time with a ruthless confessional jab. "Angela is the oldest young woman I've ever met. I hope her personality is more youthful than her face." Initially, things were all good, with Porsha and Angela even celebrating them sharing a room. Unfortunately, dinner turned dramatic fast. Drew reignited old beefs with Shemay, relabeling her Porsha's lapdog. The two quarreled for a bit before the attention was turned to Drew and Porsha. Both ladies, seemingly tired of the season-long drama, finally agreed to bury the hatchet. Then Kelly chimed in, accusing Drew of clashing with everyone but Cynthia Bailey, leaving Drew baffled, especially since her real support came from Angela. The Grenada trip revealed layers to Sidora that viewers hadn't always seen. Beneath the shade-throwing and the confessionals was a woman navigating fame, friendships, and fierce female dynamics in real time. And while she may not have emerged from the trip entirely unscathed, she walked away with something more valuable than peace: power. Power to speak her truth, power to own her flaws, and power to decide whether she'll continue this housewife's journey or bow out on her own terms. So, will she survive? RHOA fans are divided. Some want Drew off the show, claiming she's too sensitive for the cutthroat ensemble. Others argue she brings an authenticity that's desperately needed amid manufactured feuds and endless shade. What's certain is this: Grenada changed the game, not just for Drew, but for the cast dynamic as a whole. Alliances have shifted, secrets were spilled, and next season promises a reckoning. If Sidora can weather this storm and emerge more self-assured, more strategic, and just a little less reactive, then yes, she may not only survive Grenada, she may just dominate the next chapter. Because in the world of housewives, survival isn't about avoiding drama, it's about TV vacations, and then there are Real Housewives vacations. But when it comes to the Real Housewives of Atlanta, no destination is ever just about the palm trees and bottomless cocktails. For Sidora, the island of Grenada could prove less a paradise and more a pressure cooker, threatening to detonate every fragile alliance she's been desperately trying to hold together. This season, the question isn't whether the trip will get messy, it's whether Drew can survive it. Let's rewind. Since stepping into the RHOA universe, Sidora has walked the precarious line between peacemaker and provocateur. A former child star and singer, Drew initially presented herself as a grounded, spiritual presence in the group, someone who brought heart to the often heartless showdowns that define the Bravo franchise. But it didn't take long for her veneer of grace to chip under the weight of backhanded comments, volatile friendships, and a marriage that aired more red flags than a Formula One race. Now, with her divorce from Ralph Pittman playing out both in the tabloids and on camera, Drew is raw, reactive, and some would say, ready for war. And what better battlefield than a group trip to Grenada, a lush tropical setting where nothing stays calm for long. At the core of Drew's current strife are her fractured relationships with several castmates. Most notably, there's her simmering feud with Sherry Whitfield, a war of words that began with low-key shade and evolved into open disdain. What started as disagreements over fitness brands and authenticity has grown into a full-blown Cold War, with trust shattered and apologies either unspoken or rejected outright. Sherry, ever the seasoned veteran, knows how to play the long game, and in Grenada she's not likely to let Drew forget any past slights. Then there's Kenya Moore, whose on-again, off-again camaraderie with Drew has viewers guessing every week. One moment they're bonding over motherhood and the messiness of divorce. The next, Kenya is throwing subtle digs with her signature pageant poise precision. Drew, unfiltered and prone to speaking from emotion rather than strategy, often plays right into it, which makes for compelling television but a brutal personal dynamic. Will the island's tranquility inspire reconciliation, or will the turquoise waves crash hard against the rocks of their rocky friendship? Meanwhile, the wild card in this mix is newcomer Brittany Eadie, whose recent entry has stirred the pot just enough to keep everyone on edge. Drew's attempt to welcome Brittany into the group was initially warm, but nothing in this franchise stays sweet for long. Allegiances shift like sand under beach chairs, and whispers about who said what, and to whom, are already trailing Brittany like a Bravo boom mic. With Drew increasingly paranoid about being misunderstood or misrepresented, her interactions with Brittany may turn from mentorship to mistrust in record time. But Grenada isn't just about feuds, it's also a setting ripe for revelations. Drew has been teasing new music, and sources hint that a spontaneous performance could be in the works, possibly as part of a group dinner or surprise island event. The last time she tried to sing her heart out for the girls, it was met with side eyes and confessional snark. But if Drew can pull off a genuine, soulful performance in this exotic locale, she may finally turn the tide and remind her castmates, and the audience, that there's more to her than just drama. Still, the emotional stakes are high. Drew is navigating the public unraveling of a marriage while simultaneously trying to stand her ground in a group known for undercutting each other at every turn. Even her closest ally, Sanya Richards-Ross, has appeared increasingly non-committal, likely weary of being caught in the crossfire. And with the group dynamics in flux, even the most seemingly benign breakfast on the beach could devolve into a screaming match over loyalty, betrayal, and Instagram unfollows. For Drew, the Grenada trip is more than just another chapter in the Rayo A adventure log. It's a proving ground. Can she redefine herself as more than the emotional lightning rod of the group? Can she build new alliances or repair old ones without sacrificing her authenticity? Or will she implode under the pressure, just another casualty of the Housewives' high-glamour, high-stakes sisterhood? The audience is split. Some see Drew as a chaotic truth-teller, vulnerable but resilient. Others argue she stirs too many pots while playing the victim when the fire gets too hot. What's undeniable is her impact. Love her or loathe her, Drew delivers drama with a sincerity that's become increasingly rare in reality television. She feels things deeply, and when she's hurting, the audience can tell, whether they sympathize or not.